welcome to Punchlines right here at the South Point Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sportsbook right behind me. It is going to be a madhouse 24 hours from now for the Kentucky Derby. I'm your host, Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. Today's show will feature horses, hoops, and some hockey, and some baseball. And we'll be fan-friendly as usual. Definitely not like Patrick Beverley at the tail end of the Pacers-Milwaukee game last night. Go ahead, Jerry, roll this clip. So, what do you have it called? Basketball throw. Sorry. So, basketball throw. So, Beverly, he hits a woman in the head with the ball. So the fan he's like, bro, what are you doing? Throws it back to him, and then he throws it back harder. So, we would never do that to one of our punchies. So we'll get to this in a second. It's Tuesday. It's not Tuesday. He's normally here co-hosting on Tuesday. It's Friday, and we have the busiest man in Las Vegas sports sitting in with us. And it's apropos that today is National Wordsmith Day because he is always quite eloquent on the program. Matt Neverett is here, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! So I want you to say something eloquent.
Wordsmithy.
Yeah. At any point today. You know,
I'll think of something.
Yeah. You always use words that have never been used on the show before.
I've been studying for the SAT, so that's usually where it comes through. Yeah.
You're taking them again?
Yeah. Just to, see if I've gotten dumber over the last however many years.
After graduation.
The answer is yes.
Okay. So Patrick Beverley, he's becoming very Draymond Greeny. He's always been kind of a headache. But
yeah.
So he said, they were giving it to us behind the bench the whole game. But you don't throw a ball and hit a woman in the head.
No.
Who laughed it off. The woman apparently was like in good spirits, and the guy took it. Then there's a big guy that had like no sleeves and like wanted to go at her. I mean, just a mess. The guy's an idiot.
Well, and then did you see what he did in the locker room post game?
I know he won't talk to any reporter that doesn't subscribe to his podcast.
I mean, come on. Have some feel, have some confidence. Like for those that didn't see it, he was doing his normal post-game interview
in his locker.
It was a well-respected ESPN producer who asked him a question, put the mic in his face, and he goes, "Wait, do you subscribe to my pod?" And she was like, "No." And he goes, "I'm not answering you." What a joke.
Yeah. I guess apparently he did that in a lot of the post-game shows, and that's his hook. Like, if you don't listen to my pod, I don't talk to you. But
so you and I don't stand a chance.
We don't stand a chance to ever talking to Patrick
clown.
Beverley. But anyway, that was quite a little clip there. It's
have
also
fun in Cancun.
What's that?
I said have fun in Cancun.
Have fun in Cancun, Patrick Beverley. It's also National No Pants Day, and yeah, I'm celebrating. There's a graphic. Yeah, woo!
Enjoy the breeze.
Matt, are you wearing pants?
I am wearing pants. Can confirm.
We don't know if you know me, guys. Who knows? I don't know. Okay. I have like gold pants on. It almost looks skin tone. I am wearing pants, but. Later on today, I won't. I don't know what we're talking about.
Is that Ryan and Caden behind you?
What?
That is Ryan and Caden behind you. I didn't know if it was just a couple of jokers or what.
That would be our producer, Ryan, and Caden, who also works on the show.
We got to tell them why they're not on the...
yeah, we have sort of a skeleton crew today. We're going to do about a 40, 45-minute show. It could go long. Who knows? But HR orientation for new employees.
Well, tell them, why do they have to do it?
I don't know.
You're picked up for the other year?
Yeah, we got picked up. Yeah, well, I've been talking about that.
Welcome back, guys.
What's going on, man? Just go sit in your chair or something?
Thought we just had some random jokers standing behind Frank there for a minute.
I didn't know who it was. It's Ryan and
the first
Kate.
time.
So, yeah, we have a great show today. I should point out, not only is Matt Neverett here, but we have two special guests coming up in the studio. Ralph Siraco will be here. Ralph, who hosts Race Day Las Vegas every morning. What is it, Monday through Friday? Wednesday through Sunday. Folks, I really need to learn these hours. They change all the time on me. Anyway, Ralph will be in a few minutes. We're going to talk Kentucky Derby. If you haven't seen the special that South Point did on the Derby, hosted by Ralph, it's up on our webpage right now. You can watch it after this program. It's already got well over 1,000. A lot of people are watching it because Ralph's show does great. He's been a big asset, and he's here. He'll be in the studio, and we're going to bring him on in about 5 minutes. Then at 12:30 for your picks at 12:36, Big Al McMorty is going to stop in via the video, and he's going to give us a basketball pick. And I believe, and now that Ryan is actually here, I can ask him. I believe Big Al's like 3-1, 4-0 on his appearances.
Rock solid.
I think he's 4-0. We're going to go with 4-0. The guy hasn't lost. He's originally from Pittsburgh. We love him, so he will be here. And chat room. So chat room, we're going to talk about the Kentucky Derby with Ralph coming up. We're going to talk hoops, hockey. But if you want to ask us about horse, if you have a horse question, if you ever had a horse racing question, today is the day to ask because Ralph Siraco will be on in a few minutes. Are you going to watch the Derby tomorrow, or are you going to be working?
I will be calling a game during the day. I actually will have some time to keep an eye on the Derby.
Post time is at 3:57 Pacific time. Let's just round it up to 4 o'clock. Around 4 o'clock, I believe. I will be here at the South Point watching it. Probably file a little video piece for Monday. I'm going to see how many women will let me try on their hats or they're fascinators.
We learned a new term today.
It's a fascinator's little thing they wear to the side, kind of gangsta. So anyway, Matt and I are both holding up here at the South Point tomorrow, May 4th.
Might be the first time that fascinator and gangster have been used in the same sentence.
Yeah. I don't know. Check Apple lyrics. We'll find out. Cash prize for best, most elegant hat, best horse-themed hat, best fascinator or fedora, and best overall. A lot of cash being given out. And I didn't know the ballroom upstairs where we watched, Ryan, like the NCAA tournament opening weekend. It's going to be going on up there for the Derby. Food specials, betting windows, drink specials, most importantly.
Yep. It'll be just like the Super Bowl as far as the specials and the pageantry around it. Yeah. A little bit shorter of an event, though.
Are you a mint julep guy? Have you ever had one?
I am, yeah. I'm not too picky, but I don't mind them.
I have to go work the ballpark tomorrow night, so I can maybe have one early mint julep.
Might aid your MC performance.
Well, yeah, but by the way, last time I was there, they let me I drank a beer on camera. I mean, at the beginning of a show, Andy Martello, we were out at the what's it called, the Hyundai
the Hyundai Hangar Bar.
Hyundai Hangar Bar, and they put a beer in front of me, and then in my earpiece, they're like, chug it. So I chugged it.
Well, hey, if Andy says it's all right.
Gary said chug it. So I'm going to do it. Today is May 3rd. Tomorrow is May 4th, which, by the way, is my comedy anniversary. That was the first day I stepped on stage, was May 4th. It's episode 146, the horse race of the year, the Kentucky Derby, is where I will be with the mint julep. You're going to be where? Doing UNLV baseball?
I'll be doing UNLV baseball tomorrow around that time, yeah. Game doesn't start till 6, but I'll be at the yard by then, just keeping an eye on it.
Very nice. And late-breaking news story, Darvin Ham was canned ham. There's the headline.
There we go.
Canned ham!
I knew it was coming.
Did we he should have been fired season 1. But anyway, Tyronn Lue? Joey B saying Tyronn Lue from the Clippers to the Lakers, he wouldn't have to walk far.
Bring him back. He was the Lakers head coach prior, yeah.
He played for the Lakers. I remember Ty Lue. He won the title with Cleveland, didn't he?
He was,
Was he the head coach? I think he was.
Yeah. Well, LeBron was the head coach. But
LeBron was the head coach.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a JJ Redick is what Ryan's saying.
Oh, is that the rumor? JJ Redick to coach the Lakers?
Him and LeBron doing the pod together, yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh. So they can just do the podcast.
It all ties together.
From the bench. Wow, Ryan with some heat coming in. He doesn't even have to be here, ladies and gentlemen. He's just here for fun. Why don't we bring in our first guest? We're going to do Ralph. Why don't we bring in, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, he's the host of the hugely successful Race Day Las Vegas, Wednesday through Sunday here in the South Point studios at the South Point Hotel. Ralph, jump on in. Ralph Siraco is here. Let's give an applause for Ralph. Ralph's numbers are always great. Ralph is killing it. Your big special you guys did on yesterday, yeah. It's already well over 1,000 views. That was a lot of fun. It goes about 90 minutes, I think, too, right?
Yeah, we went over because Chris and Vinny had some great stories, so we just went with it.
If there's any time to go over, it's for the Derby, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's the best. I've always gone to an OTB. I've never been to the Kentucky Derby. How many times have you been to the Kentucky Derby?
Twice.
Just twice?
Yes.
Okay, how long ago was that?
I was working for ESPN at the time.
Okay.
And I remember the first time I went, I was really excited and got in there with all the stuff and everything, and we got in a nice hotel and all that. It was great. But I didn't realize that trying to leave Louisville afterwards was a mess. So I wound up leaving Cincinnati on the Monday to get back here to Vegas.
Jeez. And by the way, little fun fact, the Cincinnati airport located in Kentucky. Yeah, right. It never made sense to me.
Yeah.
I was just there. Oh, by the way, episodes of Wait What Happened available for free on the very local app, the game show I host, we filmed in Cincinnati and Kentucky. All right, before we get into the Derby, we thought we would have some fun with Ralph with some of our posts. Now, when we call for posts with punchlines, we always say sound the horn, and I think it would be apropos if you would call for the horn.
Well, horn it up.
Horn it up. Let's get horny. There's the horn, just in time for Ann to walk into the studio. It's post time with Brian Alex. Everybody's here. What's going on?
We can start a dice game.
We could have a hell of a softball. What do we have? We have 9, 2, 4.
By the way, I don't want to step on anybody.
Please.
There, but one of our handicappers,
okay,
that comes on the show every day,
okay,
he has a service, and like all the handicappers do, and In this last race at Churchill
Downs, it's on live here.
His number one pick in this race was the one horse. You want to read the odds?
20 to 1?
20 to 1.
20 to 1.
And he won.
Yeah.
The win race.
Alex, did you have anything on that? Were we on that? Now, Ralph is so graciously coming down here. This is busy weekend for Ralph, right? Because you're going to be tonight at 6 p.m. You're going to be upstairs doing like a seminar.
No, we're going to be in the Grandview Lounge.
Grandview Lounge.
Next to the book. We're going to do a seminar there, and that handicapper that just hit the 20 to 1. He's going to be there with John Lendo going over. We'll go over the Derby, and then naturally, as a player as I am, and all the people out there are players, I'm going to try to press them into. There's a lot of great other races on Derby Day. So give us some other horses.
Let's go. Let's give them
this race. Gives us some other horses.
Wow, there we go. And that's now what's the we'll get into the we're going to do Kentucky Derby coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and talk about some of our posts with punchlines. Posts with punchlines is when we scour the internet. Ryan wasn't even here today. He's off today, but he was still sending in some funny clips. Matt Neverett is here. He helped out too. What? So we're going to talk about this one that in Baltimore. It's a home run by Santander, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Jerry, go ahead, roll this footage. I want you to see the cop's reaction. The bullpen cop. So he's in the bullpen. So there we go. It's a bomb. And it's going to bounce once, and then the cop's reaction to the ball.
Did he go for his gun?
I know, he does. He does. He really does. You see him go to the hip.
What a start for the Orioles.
Itchy triggers there in Baltimore, but he was a cop afraid of a baseball. I don't know.
Not as good as the bullpen cop in Boston, however many years ago that was.
When the guy flipped in?
Yeah, that was Torrey Hunter, by the way.
Was it Torrey Hunter? Gold Glover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Ralph, you're a baseball fan, right? A little bit?
Well, I was a baseball fan, but when I lived in L.A., I was an Angels fan all my life, so naturally I'm not now.
Okay. But you saw him win a World Series in 2001 or 2? 2. Yeah, 2002. Yeah, 2001 was to Arizona. I remember watching that World Series. I grew up, I lived in L.A. when I first discovered baseball, and I loved the Dodgers, and the Angels back then had Bobby Grich, Don Baylor, Gene Mauch and I loved the Angels. So they've always been my American League team, but it's been really frustrating watching them play.
Please.
Since 2002.
Ever since they got rid of Nolan Ryan because they said he was too old, and then he beats them for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Throws a no-hitter at 4. Yesterday was the anniversary, I think, of his 7th no-hitter. Yesterday or the day before. I remember that day. I was doing a show, and the game was on. And we left her. It was Nolan Ryan was like in the 4th inning. He had a no-hitter going, no hits, whatever. I got it. So we went out, and then I get home at SportsCenter at like 2:30 a.m. I'd had a few beers, and he pitched a no-hitter. But I remember that morning, Ricky Henderson broke the stolen base record. Yeah. So Ricky pulled that base up, and he gives that famous speech, "Today I am the greatest."
Yeah.
And then that night, Nolan Ryan pitched a no-hitter, so he got all the ink, and Ricky was mad, man, because it was like, well, Ricky, you are the greatest, but Nolan Ryan is 45 years old and just pitched a no-hitter.
Yeah.
But we had baseball.
Good move on the Angels' part, yeah.
Yeah, that was another smart move by the Angels. And by the way, I still call them the California Angels. I remember.
What are they now?
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Of Southern California.
Southern California,
Milky Way. They're on, too.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that?
Why don't they just name the street they're on, too?
It's so ridiculous. They're the California Angels. Ryan corrects me all the time when I point that out. You're all over the board with your baseball fandom. I mean, I know you like the Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a Red Sox fan. My dad's whole family's from the woods in New Hampshire. So I grew up a diehard Boston sports fan, and then the Pirates were the team that he got his first big league job with. Yeah. So we lived in Pittsburgh for a while. I've worked for the Pirates in multiple cities and stops, so I'm kind of all over the place. And then he's with the Dodgers now, so I kind of root for them. I had health insurance through them for a year, so I guess that's reason enough.
All right, speaking of the Pirates, I believe we're going to go to the stat that came out yesterday, Jerry. This one is titled, what do you have this one
the
titled?
runs last 3 weeks.
The runs the last 3 weeks. So if you look at this chart, Minnesota Twins have been on fire. They had one like 7 in a row. I don't know if they upped that win streak.
They won 10 in a row.
They won 10. Are they up to 10, Mike?
Thanks to their summer sausage.
Okay, what? Oh, yeah, that's the lucky summer sausage.
The lucky sausage, yeah.
Yeah, when they open that packaging, that's going to be
They
bad.
brought it across international borders. They brought it to Toronto and back.
They have, if you don't know what Matt's talking about, they have a lucky, since they've had the sausage in the dugout, they've been winning.
It's like in the packaging. It's kind of, it's gross looking.
Yeah.
You can see the condensation.
If it ever gets opened, just run.
It'll be ranked.
So how many runs did they score? 114 or how many does that
114
say?
in the last 3 weeks.
Okay. And then you scroll down and you see like the Phillies had a good week. And then the Dodgers and Baltimore probably always going to be near the top. Boston. Then you go all the way to the bottom. There are the Pirates, 49 runs scored.
in 3 weeks. That's like 20 games.
And they played the Giants and the A's. I mean, they got swept in Oakland. It's very pathetic. We will talk more about that a little bit later. Anyway, it's painful to watch that. That's the pits right there. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of baseball, this is the helmet one. Now, I don't know if this is legal or not, Ralph. We want to get your opinion on this. Matt and I still haven't figured this out. So Pete Crow Armstrong, whose mother was the actress in the movie Little Big League, he's made it to the big leagues himself for the Cubs. So he hit this ball the other day. So go ahead, Jerry, roll this. So it's down the line. He's going to get extra bases.
And he's a stud. He's a top prospect.
Yeah, love to watch him play.
Number one prospect.
So here's the play a second. He's holding on to the base using his helmet. He takes it off.
With the helmet.
Now
is that cool?
What's the rule? To me, I would think that would be out. You can't use a piece of equipment because if a catcher picks up a ball with a mask, can't do that.
Yeah, and we have a tweet with a still of the slide too.
Okay,
I just don't. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that anyone has ever really tried this. Let alone, it's one thing if the helmet flies off and you pick it up on the way by and try that. He took it off on purpose. I think that alone should be grounds for being called out. But if we could show the tweet, it's interesting. SNY had some fun with it. This series, by the way, between the Cubs and the Mets has just been weird all the way around. Yeah, just that image right there.
So he was called safe, ruled safe. The Mets did not appeal it?
I think that's one where the umpire's probably just like, hey, I've never seen this
before.
We don't
know. We're calling him safe.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was a kid, there was a guy named Gary Matthews, whose son played in the majors, Gary Matthews Jr. Gary Matthews played for the Braves. What he did when he hit the ball, before he got to first base, he took his helmet off and threw it down and would run the bases.
Now, was this around the age when they made the...
Late 70s.
When they first started making them wear the helmet?
Because of him.
So that's a political statement.
It might be a Gary Matthews role. His son, he had some of those great catches when he was with the Rangers. A Gold Glover, center fielder, Gary Matthews Jr.
Yep.
But Gary Matthews, he was from Pacoima, L.A., and my dad worked there for a little bit with his mother. So Gary Matthews, I knew who he was, but we'd go watch him play. As soon as he hit the ball, he'd take a helmet off. Now, in horse racing... You wouldn't want to lose any of your safety gear when you're out there racing, Ralph.
Not a chance.
No, right. You don't want to lose anything.
No.
Now you have a 2,000-pound horse underneath you. You want all the protection you can.
I do have a horse racing equipment question.
Okay, there you go.
And just because I know nothing, you see the guys losing the goggles. They flip the goggles off, basically like their version of windshield wipers. For the Kentucky Derby specifically, how many pairs of those goggles do they typically have stacked on top of each other?
It depends on the condition of the racetrack.
Right, if it's
right
muddy.
now it's muddy, so they're going to wear quite a few sets of goggles, because you don't have time to reach up and start brushing it off. So you just flip them off.
So what's a general number if you have any idea?
Well, 1.25 miles, I'd say you'd do between 3 and 5.
Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, well, this is a nice segue to get into, let's just get into some horse racing with Ralph. That's why we got him here for damn sake. So we're taking a look at the 20 horse. Is it still 20 horses or is it 19?
Yeah, it'll be 20.
It'll be 20. They fell. Okay.
The one scratch they had a horse already filled in there.
They did. Okay, my bad. So what are you looking at? What can you tell people, casual bettors, also people who are versed in horse betting? What are you looking forward to in the race tomorrow and who are you looking at?
Well, this is the most confusing race. This is the most hard race to handicap because of all the different variables. And then it's the Kentucky Derby, and there's an unwritten rule by the jockeys in the race that you have to almost knock down a guy to get an inquiry or disqualification.
Right, yeah.
So it's going to be a roughly run race. And, you look at the favorite and you sit there and say, in my opinion, this is me, the horse player talking. I don't bet to win. I bet to make money.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And there's a difference.
Yes.
More people need to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if the favorite wins, Fierceness wins. In order for me to cash a ticket on Fierceness, I'm going to have to utilize the exacta, trifecta, and superfecta bet to make chicken feathers into chicken soup.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not. I mean, I'm not going to go home and lose sleep off of losing a $5 winner.
Right.
This horse just paid $42.
I know, right?
Okay, that's what you're looking at. Now, a lot of times,
$43.90.
Yeah. I mean, you'll go through maybe a week now. You might want not hit a $42 horse, but when you do, you score out.
Yeah, right.
And that, that's the philosophy I have for the Kentucky Derby. A lot of people that go, and remember, there's going to be a lot of what they call square money, like it is in the Super Bowl, just square money because people are going to the
also known as Frank money.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke. There was a joke to be made there, yeah.
I know, you're well-rounded. Anyhow, so there's going to be a lot of money there that can be made because the pool's going to be high, and a lot of people are just betting numbers.
People are just betting names and numbers, right?
I mean, and then again, those people, hit because how many people do you think in the stands and watching the Kentucky Derby around the country 2 years ago? Bet, look at there.
God.
Here's a horse's name is Rich Strike. Let me bet that.
What were the odds on that?
That thing was a gazillion to 1.
I was at Santa Anita actually watching that race.
Yeah.
And when it came across, only one guy and it's Pat, one guy at the bar went, yeah, and everybody else went, holy crap, you had that?
Yeah,
One guy had
it. There was like a silence in the crowd.
Yes, it was. It was
like,
ridiculous.
Who the hell was that?
Yeah. We were all like, wait, what? Who? Yeah.
So that happens,
And you were talking about bump and all that. Was it National Security we were talking about? Is that the one who got bumped out of the win for
maximum security.
Maximum security, right?
Yeah.
There's 20 horses. There's going to be a lot of rubbing is racing. That's from a race car movie, Days of Thunder. But anyway, the horses.
And then if you're trained by Bob Baffert with Medina Spirit, you get disqualified.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah,
that's true. Well, I like a D. Wayne Lucas. I like Just Steel. I know it's around 20 to 1. I like it because I'm from Pittsburgh, so I'll probably that's square money.
There you are.
There you go. There's square money. I will be.
But
taking
now wait
it.
a minute. D. Wayne Lucas has won a lot of Kentucky Derbies.
That's what I mean. So it doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, and he's not without a chance. Believe me, that horse is not.
Now without a chance, what horse number is that? I don't know what horse number.
That's the in the 13th race.
By the way, we asked everybody on the crew if they could name a horse. What would they name it? Matt, yours was.
What did I say? Nibbling the corner.
Nibbling the corner, and I went with Sin City Steel, being Vegas and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
If you had to name a horse that you owned, what would you? name it?
I went over this with Sean the other day.
Okay.
And I'm a Raiders fan.
Okay.
And so the Kansas City Chiefs have been a thorn in my side
Yes,
for a
they
couple
have.
of years. So and it has to be 18 letters. So you have to, sometimes you have to do the.
Oh no! Wait a second. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Look at Matt and I are both
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
The length of the horse's name has only to be 18 letters. So if you have words like the, that like, abbreviated or and you put the N in there.
Okay.
Stuff like that to make it. So I told Sean, I guess I can tell him, right, Sean?
Yeah, you can tell him. Sean, he can tell the story.
John's busy.
John's not paying attention.
I can tell the story now about the horse's name? Oh, I mean, I'm saying, but I can because you okay.
We have permission.
Yeah, Sean's okay.
I started, messing around with the letters and all that, and I got down to 18 letters, and it's Swift, Kick, and the Kelsey.
Oh, yeah. That was your name of the line. That was 18 letters?
Yeah, well, I squeezed it into 18 letters. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Now, it's maximum's 18. Is that
Maximum's
what you're
18.
Wow. Okay, Swift Kicking the Kelsey. That's
Swift
a great
Kicking
horse
the
name.
Kelsey.
That is great.
We had
Every Raider fan was going to love to bet that horse.
That would be, that would a lot of square money. Yeah. Jerry had Toby Maguire to salute to Seabiscuit and Spider-Man. His horse name. And Toby Maguire coming down the stretch, nibbling on the corner, and Swift Kicking the Kelsey.
It's a good omen, if nothing else, Jerry.
Let's see here. Joey B. Ralph Siraco, odds of beverage during the Kentucky Derby. Okay, so Joey B. has set a line of your drink choice. He has a mint julep 25 to 1, beer 10 to 1, coffee or tea 4 to 1, or Diet Pepsi 7 to 2.
My preferred drink?
Yeah.
We're talking about, is this after we do our shows?
After you finish your job.
We're going to say after all the bets cash.
What's the Ralph drink?
I'm taking a Heineken Light.
We're going beer 10 to 1.
Beer 10 to 1. If you had beer at 10 to 1, you got it.
Actually, Heineken Silver now. They changed it.
Yeah, they changed the name.
Presenting sponsor of the F1 Vegas Grand Prix.
Oh, yes, it was.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
I started drinking that as a revenge to my ex-wife.
We'll start drinking it as a revenge to all the traffic from F1. There we go.
Which is, Jeff Parles informs me that construction starts in 2 weeks on
Can't
the
wait.
F1.
So excited.
Is that unbelievable? By the way, Keith Lyle, I've said it before, my horse name is Itchy Crotch, but it's scratched.
I like it.
See that joke there?
I'm going to say this real slow.
Please.
But in another lifetime, I called races at a time.
Okay.
And some guy tried to get a horse's name,
Okay.
Cunning Stunt.
Right.
So, you have to be really good
Just
at
so coming down the
memorizing that
back
horse.
stretch, the announcer might
Oh
make a
my
mistake
God.
on that one. And the owner was Michael Hunt, I believe.
Yeah.
So what are some tips for people betting tomorrow? I mean, like you said, You could look at a favorite and then you got to wrap it with something else, right?
Yeah, you can. Well, for example, I will say one thing about the Kentucky Derby. It's always nice to have a jockey who's had the experience in the Kentucky Derby.
Right.
Okay, because they know what they're about ready to get into.
Similar to like a Super Bowl winning quarterback going back there. Yeah.
Like
Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't want to discuss. Don't ask him about the Chiefs.
I'm not bringing up anyone
Don't
specific.
bring up the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, I would never.
Mahomey. Anyhow, that and the first-time jockeys are going to, they start hearing this, my old Kentucky home, there's 200,000 people out there and all that. They get the adrenaline going and all that, and sometimes they don't keep their mind on their business.
Right.
And, of course, the horses' behavior. These horses will never see a crowd of 150,000 again, and they make that gargantuan walk from the stable area right along the side of the racetrack where all the people are screaming and yelling when they're coming by. And
they're
then,
like, what the hell did?
So, I mean, you got a horse that
That's
could
interesting,
leave all his energy out in nervousness before he ever gets to the starting gate.
Jeez.
So there's a lot of particulars in the Kentucky Derby that they're not seeing every day, human and horse.
Yeah.
So you kind of take a look. If you see a horse going crazy, I wouldn't want to have him.
Nice.
And I had to go for jockeys that have had experience there. Now, the jockey on the favorite, Velasquez, Johnny Velasquez, has won a couple of derbies. And the gentleman who owns it, Mike Rapoli, who's a paisano of ours. He's had such bad luck in the Kentucky Derby. He's had two of his horses in the last 10 years he's been trying to win this race. He's had two of his horses scratched in one the morning of the race, and another one the day before the race, because these horses also go through a rigid team of veterinarians, and all has to be is one veterinarian saying, we don't look right, you got to scratch them.
Wow.
And there's like a dozen veterinarians. I mean,
no way,
try to get a doctor, 12
anybody
doctors.
On anything.
Opinion, So, so he's due one. That's for sure. And the guy dumps gazillions of money into the game.
And which horse is his again?
The favorite.
The favorite.
Fierceness.
Okay, Fierceness.
But I'd use that, and I like a horse.
Please, let us know.
Oh gosh, what's it? Leon, the horse.
Sierra Leone.
Sierra
Leone, yeah.
He's a come from behind her. Okay.
I'm seeing 4-1 right now.
Yeah, he's come from behind her, so he's going to have to pass like maybe 15 horses to do this thing.
Okay.
But his jockey, Tyler Gaffleone, rides at Churchill Downs a lot, and he knows the track. And he's one of the top jockeys. So I think he can. I think he can maneuver.
All right, and we have a question from one of the people watching the show. Is there a chance of a Triple Crown this year? Do you see any horse that could win?
No, that's really funny you asked that, because I get these emails from odds makers across the country, etc. And one of the odds makers has a proposition 10-1 to win the Triple Crown.
10?
10-1 to win the Triple Crown. And he says, it's got a 10% chance of winning. So I'm thinking to myself, if he's only got a 10% chance, why isn't it 90-1?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that math isn't math.
Well, that's why these bookmakers are in good shape.
Yeah. Chris is doing something right.
But I don't think we're going to have a Triple Crown winner, because the aforementioned Bob Baffert, who can't run a horse in the Kentucky Derby, has a slew of nice 3-year-olds on the West Coast, and he can run in the Preakness, and he can run in the
Belmont. Okay,
and you got to think that maybe he would love to beat the Kentucky Derby winner in Pimlico.
Oh, this is a good tip. I like that. Yeah. All right, listen, Ralph. Last thing, what will you be doing tomorrow? You're going to be upstairs, correct?
I'm going to be up in the grand ballroom, the room the grand ballroom that they use for the.
It's huge. That's where we watch the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament.
NCAA and Super Bowl up there. So they're going to have that open, and we invite everybody to come on out and have a good time.
Drink specials, food specials. We got everything going on.
Banquet tables that you can spread out your paraphernalia for handicapping and all that other good stuff, and bring your best hat.
And are you making your bets late, or will you make them all throughout the day tomorrow, or how do do you do that?
Well, for those for the races that,
but just the Derby, just the Derby.
Just the Derby. I'll wait until I see them in the paddock. I'd like to see them. In the paddock.
Right, and that's around probably 3:30 Pacific.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, Ralph.
I'll probably be standing in line watching it because, but they got a lot of betting windows up there.
Yes.
They got betting kiosks
and kiosks,
all the good stuff.
All right, Ralph, continue keeping.
Wait! You're going to come up with a hat?
Doing the great. I might have a hat on. I don't know. I might. I actually want to see how many ladies will let me try their hat on. The stream. Oh, how about that? Thank you, Jerry. The seminar tonight, which is at 6 p.m. Pacific, will be streaming live on South Point Studios YouTube page. Right here.
Go figure.
Go figure. I love it. All right, make sure you watch Race Day Las Vegas Wednesday through Sunday at 7 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Pacific time. So you got to get up early.
Yes.
Or at 10 o'clock. Well, what time do you get up, Sean, to work on that show? Leaves his house by 5:15. All right,
that's not too bad.
Not too bad. Jerry, do you want to take a break? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Big Al McMorty and more punchlines. Thank you for Ralph Siraco stopping by. Yay, Ralph.
All righty.
Love you, boy.
Once you've satisfied your hunger, get ready for more of the hottest casino games in Vegas. Our 24-hour, 30-table non-smoking poker room proudly hosts all the most popular poker games with a variety of betting limits. Visit the poker room for a schedule of daily tournaments. Whether you're going to hold 'em or fold 'em, the best place for poker is at South Point Casino. You'll notice that our craps tables are usually the loudest in the casino. If you've never played, join one of our free craps lessons to find out what makes this game so exciting. Check with the craps dealer for schedules and give it a roll. Bingo is also an exciting way to spend your time. We offer 7 sessions of bingo every day. Bingo! And each session includes a cash ball jackpot, 12 bingo games, a progressive double action game, and a $10,000 bonus coverall. Electronic units are available. If you haven't played bingo with us, give it a try today. Guests can also get in on the action at our one-of-a-kind race and sports books, 2 separate rooms designed to maximize your experience and comfort. Our sports book, with over 400 seats, puts you right in the middle of the action, 24 hours a day. The friendly ticket writers are happy to help, and it's conveniently located next to the famous Del Mar Deli, where you'll find supersized portions of delicious deli items like roast beef, pastrami, and Reuben sandwiches, or soups, salads, and pizza, plus spectacular desserts fit for a king. And right next door is the race book, over 150 seats, each with its own TV screen. There are 16 interactive player terminals, so you can bet right from your seat.
All right, Ralph was tremendous. The Belmont Stakes will be at Saratoga. Might change things up. We got to let Ralph go. Ralph's got to go cash tickets.
Yeah.
That race he was talking about, we didn't realize he was on. So
he had the winner.
He had the winner. So you got to watch Race Day Las Vegas if you want some winners on horses. They do a fantastic job. The show's a huge hit on our site. Ralph is awesome, says Keith Lau, Joey B. Great segment with Ralph. Ryan McCormick, Sierra Leone, and Frank have that in common. That's an Italian thing right there.
Oh,
all right. Matt Neverett is a graduate from Pine Richland. This gentleman coming on the show, I believe it's his 4th or 5th time on the show. He is also a Pittsburgher from the South Hills. It's time for Big Al McMorty. Big Al, what's happening, buddy?
Not much. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. The Kentucky Derby fever is here. We had Ralph, who hosts our horse show, and he talked about some good tips on how to bet the Derby. And I don't know, you're not a big horse guy, or do you follow horses at all?
Not like Ralph does,
yeah.
No. But I've had a lot of success in the Triple Crown races, but I don't have enough time to delve into horse racing on a day-to-day basis.
All right, Al, does your shirt say Sex Pistols? Is it a Sex Pistols?
Pistols, yeah.
Okay, nice. I was just making sure. I'm like, Big Al with the Sex Pistols jacket. I love it. Very nice. Are you a big fan, Johnny Rotten? Are you a Sex Pistols fan?
I'm a big punk rock fan. My favorite bands would be Gang of Four, Buzzcocks, or Stiff Little Fingers. Sex Pistols are way down on the list for me, but they're not exactly making Buzzcocks hooded sweatshirts. So.
I can't believe you said the Buzzcocks, because in high school, I remember there were kids, that's all they wore, were Buzzcocks.
Yeah.
Was it Gang of Four or Gang of Four, right? All that stuff, all the punk stuff, Dead Kennedys.
Yeah, no, I had a couple of buddies at the aforementioned Pine Ridge in high school.
Yeah.
We would wear like Rancid and Op Ivy and all those bands from Gilmore up in San Francisco.
I love Rancid. Rancid's great.
Wow. Now, Al, we're going to talk basketball. What was that, Jerry? Was that Rancid? You like Rancid too? Oh, okay. He's figuring something out.
He's like a whirling dervish back there. Yeah.
So I just wanted to, I know we always talk about your those are French movie posters behind you, right? Or is that just noir?
They're two of them are French movies, but they're actually Belgian posters.
Posters. So I said to you last night, I said, hey, before we get into basketball, maybe tell me your 5 favorite all-time movies. This would be Big Al's Movie Corner, something like that. Did you come up with 3 or 4 or 5 of your favorite movies?
I could come up, but that's easy. I mean, some of the ones behind me, for example, Bob Le Flambeur, which is a great French movie directed by Jean-Pierre Melville. It's what it means is Bob the Gambler. That's what that means. So, yeah, that's one of my 5 favorite. I also like Rififi, which is a poster behind me. That's probably the best heist movie. All the Ocean's 11s, they stole everything from Rififi.
It's fitting.
I would say Out of the Past with Robert Mitchum is a great movie. Of course, Maltese Falcon with
Humphrey Bogart.
Humphrey Bogart. And, oh gosh, let's try to get a contemporary movie.
Yeah, one contemporary.
How about Godfather Part 2?
You go 2 over 1. Yeah, that's my dad was the same way. 2 is just so. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, oh my God, the alarm's going off.
Oh,
hold on, the alarm that was really loud in my headphones. The alarm's going off because it's 12:36. We do our picks at 12:36. But before we get to Big Al and our pick, I just want to say Robert Mitchum. So when I grew up in Pittsburgh, and then we moved to LA in the late 70s, and my dad was writing a lot of commercials, and he was on the radio, and he had to drop off a script for something he was writing for Jack Webb from Dragnet. So I was a little kid, so I was like 6, and I loved to run ahead and open the door and whatever. So I run to this office door, and I fling open a door and hit someone, and I hear him say, like they let out a little bit of a scream. And I turned around, and my dad's face kind of goes white, and I had opened a door and hit Robert Mitchum with the door. Now, I of course didn't know who he was at the time. I was 6, but my dad was, this was like one of his favorite actors, so he stopped and talked to him for a second. But when we left, he's like, "That's Robert Mitchum," and then he started showing me like Cape Fear and stuff like Robert Mitchum did, and so that was just like you have like visions that you remember throughout your life. I remember opening that door, and there was a large guy, and my dad like, "Holy crap, that was Robert Mitchum." So. That was my Robert Mitchum story. That's all I got right there for you on that.
I don't have any, so that's one more than I got.
That's one more than right. Not a lot of people have Robert Mitchum stories, but so basketball has gotten interesting. This the Knicks Sixers series has finally ended. Did you think the Knicks would win that series by chance?
Yeah, I mean, I actually had a pretty strong opinion on that. I have a really good system that predicts series wagers. It had 3 in the first round. It had the Knicks, the Nuggets minus 380. The Knicks were minus 110. Then it had the Boston Celtics, but you had to lay like $8,000 to win $100, whatever it was. But all 3 won. It's going to have one series wager in the second round. That'll be on Oklahoma City if and when they play the Dallas Mavericks. So that'll be. My next series wager will be on OKC over Dallas. But I wasn't surprised about the Knicks at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know, we didn't show it on there, but there was like near riots, and because there were, first of all, the Philly fans were walking out screaming Embiid sucks or whatever. Did you see that?
Well, there was enough New York fans there. It may have as well have been them.
It may well have been them, but I mean, boy, when Philly loses, like when they lost to the Arizona Diamondbacks last year.
Yeah.
At home, game 6 and 7, they just turn like that. There's no allegiance from the Philly fans, but it got ugly there. But the Knicks are a fun team to watch. Like that's the one series I've watched, and OKC looks great, and I love watching Halliburton play. So that's the next series, right? Pacers and Knicks.
Well, Jalen Brunson is an unheralded superstar. Yeah. He has gone above. Really solid player, really good role guy. He is a legitimate superstar in the NBA right now, and he's the kind of guy that can lead a team to a series victory, as we saw against a team that probably on paper is better in Philly. But
yeah, and you grew up in Boston. Are you a Celtics fan?
Yeah, I do like the Celtics, yeah.
It's the one team I don't like. And Al, you grew up in Pittsburgh. I don't know if you know this, but Matt's first time having you on the show together, he's a San Antonio Spurs fan.
How'd that happen?
Exactly. He's told the story before. What was it? I can't even remember. The Reader's Digest.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, so we didn't have a team. Yeah. Right. And, this was back in the 70s. So I opened up the Pittsburgh Press, and George Gervin was atop the scoring leaders at 27 points per game, and I became a Spurs fan.
Well, if Cher had anything to do with it, they would have a basketball team in Pittsburgh.
The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, which I have talked about that was one of my favorite movies. I own the album soundtrack.
The Pittsburgh Pisces.
Pittsburgh Pisces. I have a VHS and I have it on DVD. Shaquille O'Neal, it's one of his favorite movies. I don't know why he hasn't remade that, but I remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scared the hell out of me when that movie came out because he's like on the evil LA team. And oh my God, I've seen that movie at least 100 times. It's so shocking. And Chris Andrews, our sportsbook director, was in the movie. He was hanging out. His cousin was the stand-in for Jack Kehoe, who was Set Shot Buford, who was the little white guy who was the free throw expert. So Chris actually saw a lot of it being filmed in Pittsburgh. So
that's awesome.
So anyway, is your pick the pick that you want to give at 1236? Is it the Oklahoma City price on the next series, or do you have something else?
No. Okay. No. I mean, I was going to look at a game tonight. The Orlando Cleveland game. You mentioned the Knicks Philly. That kind of falls into the same angle that I'll talk about here. Historically, teams up 3-2 in a 7-game playoff series do close the series out in Game 6. They're 136-88 straight up. They're 127-96-1 ATS. We saw both teams last night, the Pacers and the Knicks, close out their series when they were up 3-2. And yeah, I like the underdog Cavaliers here plus a 3.5.
Yeah, they're 140 on the money line too, plus 140 if you like that straight up.
All right. And what are you doing? What are you doing for the Derby? Do you watch it anywhere, or are you at home crunching numbers for everything?
I will watch it. I mean, I heard what Ralph was talking about. I like Sierra Leone as well. Yeah. I don't know if I want to put it on top just because of his deep closing style, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get all the way through 19 other horses. But I do like him. I would put him in a try. I would. Eventually we're going to have an overseas horse, win. I like the Japanese horse Forever Young. A lot of people don't want to use it because they've struggled in the Derby, but I would look at Forever Young. I'd look at Sierra Leone, and then I like Chad Brown's other horse, Domestic Product. I mean, a lot of people don't like his speed numbers, understandably, but I think he might surprise some folks.
No, wait, that's not.
Those would be the three I would look at.
That's not Chad Brown, who the former linebacker of the Pittsburgh Steelers is. It. He has nothing to do. It's not that.
Close cousins.
Now, when we talk about, but might as well talk. We'll close with the Steelers since you and I are both fans. What did you think of the draft? They had a good draft.
Didn't pay one whit of attention to it.
You don't care about the draft. You can wait till the game starts.
No, I care. I like the NBA draft. I follow that pretty closely. Yeah. The NFL draft, I could not care less.
Yeah. By the way, I saw this morning, I was logged on to ESPN. They already have a mock draft for 2025.
Yeah. Did you see who they have number 1 overall?
I can't even remember.
Shedeur Sanders from Colorado.
Oh, Shedeur Sanders. And they have the Steelers taking Quinn Ewers as a quarterback. Yeah, so who knows? It's ridiculous. Al, listen, we're doing an abbreviated show today because we have a kind of a short staff on the crew here. So I wanted to make sure we got you on. I know that you've been killing it on our show. I believe you're 4-0, so you're the man. And how can everyone find your picks and become a Big Al fan? I'm not jinxing you with that. You always do well.
No, it's fine. Just my website is bigal.com. It's very easy to find, bigal.com. I've got 19 other handicappers at the site. We've got free picks every day, so it's a great website. We've got articles, lots of good stuff on the site.
It's the best. And Al, we've known each other for a couple of years now doing podcasts. We still haven't met face-to-face. So do you have any plans to come to Vegas at all?
In August, for sure, to enter the contest. So I'll see you in August.
Perfect.
We will have Al here in August, hopefully before that, too. Anyway, Big Al, thank you. Have a good weekend. We appreciate you coming on the show. As always, make sure you check out Big Al, bigal.com. And we're just going to say bye to Al, and then we're going to talk baseball, right?
I got a pick or two.
All right. Thank you, Al, for being on the show. We love it.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, buddy. He's the best. Yeah, there was something clicking there on the.
I think that was his connection. Yeah.
All right, we're all good. How about who would have thought Big Al was a big Sex Pistols fan?
Yeah.
I love that. Sex Pistols, and then he gave us some movies to watch over the weekend. Although the movie I am going to watch tonight is probably Unfrosted. The Jerry Seinfeld directed movie about the invention of Pop-Tarts.
Somehow I've never
just came out today on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Directed by, it's also got Bill Burr, it's got Nate Bargatze, it's got Melissa McCarthy. It's got an unbelievable cast about the creation, directed by Jerry Seinfeld, about the Pop-Tarts.
So on paper, that doesn't sound interesting. But with that cast...
but with the cast.
They made the movie about the guy that invented Flamin' Hot Cheetos. What is it about these food movies?
I don't know, but it turns out that movie was directed by Eva Longoria.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was all a fabricated story, really. The guy, he worked there for years before, and they'd already been developing a hot chip. He kind of like helped out.
You mean the actress that got famous for starring in a drama masquerading as a soap opera in Desperate Housewives?
Yep.
I'm a big Wisteria Lane fan. I grew up watching that show
Oh,
with my
Eva
mom.
Longoria is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple picks for you before we wrap the show early. Matt, what do you got?
I got the Blue Jays today, and I'm confident I'm going on the run line. The Blue Jays on the road in Washington. Sometimes tough to lay the run line with the team on the road, especially going across international borders, although that's a little bit overrated with Toronto being right there. But yeah, I like the Blue Jays laying 1.5. You've got Yusei Kikuchi, who's been one of the most underrated starters. Different vowel at the end of the last name. Yeah. But he's been one of the more underrated starters in Major League Baseball this year. 2.80 ERA, 36 strikeouts so far for him. The big reason I love the run line, I love fading Patrick Corbin.
Yes,
I think he's the worst starter in baseball when he is on the mound. As a home dog in his career, Patrick Corbin has pitched 51 times in his career with his team as a home dog. His teams are 13 and 38 straight up, and they've been outscored by an average of over 2 runs per game. So I'm going with the Blue Jays. The Nationals also coming back from a 7-game road trip, 2 different stops in Texas. So they're still trying to get their bearings.
Sure.
Blue Jays were off yesterday as well. So they've been in the nation's capital for almost 24 hours right now.
Did some sightseeing, probably got a nap.
Yeah, of course. So I'm going Blue Jays on the run line.
I like it. And Patrick Corbin, he did win the Cy Young, or was he like runner-up?
He was
like second?
Second,
He was like, he had signed a big money deal. And
he's 0-3 with a 6.82 ERA this year.
Yeesh. All right, now listen. I know you're going, Frank's going to bet on the Pirates tonight. Yeah,
darn tootin' he is.
We have to. Now, big booty bets, Tommy will agree with me. He likes the over. All right, he's been talking about Colorado and Pittsburgh. 8.5. By the way, why am I doing this all of a sudden? The over, it's unbelievable. 8.5. I like the Pirates. You said the Pirates run line is 4.5.
The team total 4.5.
Team total is 4.5 for the Pirates.
We're going over.
This team will hit event. They need Colorado is 2-14 on the road. They're awful.
And Cal Quantrill pitching, he is horrible.
Is this Paul Quantrill's kid? Probably.
It is.
It has to be. So listen, the Pirates homestand. They have to go. They have to have a winning homestand.
Well, speaking of Canadians, Cal Quantrill.
There you go. And they got the Rockies, then they got the Angels coming in, then they got the Cubbies coming in. So if the Pirates are going to stay in this race, they got to win. I feel like tonight's a must win. Paul Skeens might be on the way soon.
I'm hearing in that Chicago series.
Yeah, I know, because he'll make his debut at home, obviously.
Make one more start in AAA, likely they'll get him up to about 90 pitches and then bring him up for that series against the Cubbies.
And will Livy Dunn be coming along?
I sure hope so.
Okay, we hope so too.
Sure hope
and her
so.
Viore sweatpants. All right, so there we go. My pick would be I'm taking the Pirates to win at home. Martin Perez, the vet on the mound for the Pirates. 2-14 Rocky team on the road. The only hitter that's hit Martin Perez well is Charlie Blackmon's like 6 for 10. So if he pitches around Charlie Blackmon, he's got a good shot at winning the game. So let's go Bucks. I know it's a homer pick, but it is a legit pick that should win after being swept in Oakland. I hope Derek Shelton tipped over a table or did something to get this team motivated. You have a busy weekend. You'll be calling baseball.
Yep, doing UNLV baseball all weekend, their last homestand, and then I'm on the road next week in Round Rock, Texas with the Aviators.
Yeah, you won't be here next Tuesday. Well, maybe via satellite. Via satellite. What year is this? But anyway, we might have Matt on the show. Anyway, I will be at the ballpark Saturday for Star Wars night. It's the Aviator. I love going to the Aviator games, and they're wearing what uniforms?
Like the
orange,
the orange pilot jersey from I almost said South Park, from Star Wars,
Star Wars
with the orange pants as well. I think it's going to be a cool traffic cone look.
It's almost a glow in the dark night, like those Chili Peppers are doing. The Chili Pepper jerseys we showed the other day with the glow. I don't know if this is a gimmick. Are they playing the game?
No, the team account confirmed. They're not going to actually play the game under the dark.
Because they shot a promo where they're playing baseball at night.
It looked badass.
It looked bad, and I'm like, that could be serious injury right there.
Yeah.
It looked cool for the promo.
Charlie Finley tried a yellow baseball back in the day, and it didn't work.
Yes, Charlie, that's right, he did.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you watching the show. Let's see, live chats, great segment with everyone love Ralph. Make sure you watch Race Day Las Vegas. You can watch the Derby special before you bet on the race tomorrow. It lives on the site. And tonight, this summit that he's doing over in the lounge here will be live at 6 p.m. streaming on our site. We will be back Monday. Ryan McCormick will be back to produce. Matt will be on the road. But I will be here, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully with a piece of video of me wearing lots of fancy hats and Fascinators.
There we go.
I'm Frank Nicotero. The show's Punchlines. Line stands for Live in Nevada every show.